So I gotta fish my hand in there, slide this wooden plank over, which should allow me to keep the water down by draining it. But it's moving pretty quickly, so I'm gonna see if I can do this safely. If I can't, then I'm not gonna do it, and I'm just gonna let nature take its course. Actually 6 times a day. Carrie's been the queen, but you just get that in there and he just goes for it. Look at his little tail. Okay. He's a growing boy though. He's getting to be a big guy. And once it starts to get a little bit warmer, he's going to be sleeping out in the garage with this crate and some hay. Although I'm pretty sure he's never going to unlearn it, because every time we put him down, he runs straight back to the front door of the house. So, but he's a good little guy, isn't he? Huh? Soft. All right, back in there. What were you saying?
I'm just excited because we have a blow-up mattress now, which is one step in the direction of having a real bed, because we've been sleeping in cots for 2 weeks. And of course, our bed is in storage still, and we don't want to bring everything over until we're done painting the house. So we figured, let's get an inflatable bed, because when people come and visit, we need it anyways, and we can stay in it for now. So it feels good to have a bed made. I swept that room. It hasn't been painted yet, but it's already feeling better. And then I just got so excited because we haven't been able to wash our clothes since we've lived here, because we don't have a washer and dryer, and we just haven't gotten around to hand washing anything because there's been a lot going on, like nursing a baby lamb. So.
Which will dirty your clothes quickly.
Yes.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. So we were out and about today. I went and got some really cute thrifted kitchen towels. Look at these little ducks. I am living my best cottage grandmother life. Then I also got these really cozy sweatpants, and I was just telling Alex, I'm like, I can't wait to put this cozy sweatsuit on tonight, my wool socks, and get into our inflatable bed.
See, people, it's the simple things in life. It's the little things, like sleeping together for the first time in 2 weeks in clean clothes. It's a step in the right direction, you know? We're no longer gonna be sleeping in front of the fireplace on the caravan cots, but I'll say, for my part, very comfortable. Slept in my sleeping bag. I was very happy, and sleeping next to the fireplace was great. There's also been a new development. So, instead of letting this little thing free roam,
well, he still free roams outside, but it's very cold and wet outside. You're supposed to keep them dry. So we got this little pen today at Animates, and we put plastic down below the blanket. And this is just where he'll sleep at night. Right now we have him in here because it's just pouring.
better to have him be able to walk around in there instead of walking around all over the house. Like, I can't tell you how many little lamb poops I've picked up off of these wood floors, and we haven't like coated the floors yet, and I'm just like sitting here like, oh god, like having
this is a better situation. We just didn't know what to do at first. We have a warm bladder that we'll put in here at night with him when he goes to sleep.
Hot water bottle, hot toddy.
A hot toddy.
Is a hot toddy a drink?
Yes.
Pour me one.
But so he's good. It's good for him to be contained because he walks around and just starts chewing things, and I'm like, you should not be chewing on that cord.
Yeah.
So it's good for this is safer.
Don't worry, none of them were live. He's going back to the vet because he's like shedding wool in his underarms and kind of like on his belly. And then just an update with Lanka on, if you watched the last video, you know, we took him in to the vet as well. We took both of the animals into the vet on the same day, which was a funny experience. The yeast infection in his ear looks better. She did put a special solution in his ears when we went to the vet last time. So hopefully that chapter's done. If you watched the previous video to this in the homesteading series, you would have seen me painting this room. Here's how it came together. We're really happy with how it came together. We're gonna get new electrical fittings. These are the ones that were just included in the house, and they look really bad. So those are definitely gonna go once we get around to that, but it's not a pressing priority. And honestly, it looks better in person because sometimes things look better on camera than they do in real life, and other times things look better in real life than they do on camera, and this is one of those times where it looks much better in real life than it does on camera. But obviously all this paint on the floor was from the previous owners who painted the whole house without laying anything down on the ground, which is a big no-no. We'll have to deal with that in a later video. This whole wall was like a dark maroon, red, purple color, and I'm just really happy with how it turned out with this 8th Spanish white color that we chose. And this room is our like happy place now. Like when we're feeling overwhelmed with all the stuff, you just walk in here and you're like, okay, one day the whole house is gonna be like this, but it's not for a while. And then this room looks like a total, utter disaster. And to be honest, it is. Look at the wall in this room. We have spent about a day and a half spackling holes in this wall. I don't know what happened in here. Thousands of holes, all of which, you know, had to be spackled. And then the corners here, there's all sorts of uneven stuff. And down at the bottom, it was really bad. So I had to like dig it all out and then replaster it to get a smooth surface. We haven't come in here yet and sanded everything, but like you can just see like these cracks in the wall that I had to cut out and replaster. It's just everywhere. It's everywhere. Cracks, filling all of the gaps along the edges of the windows, all along the crown molding, just so that when it does come time to paint, there's a smooth, uniform surface. And that's the most important thing with repainting a wall. You want it to be smooth and uniform. You can't have little holes or gaps or dents. And this room has plenty of those. But the good thing is we've got one room done, and now we're well into working on room number 2, this one. This is our pond. The water is up a bit. It does drain, you know, it has an overflow. So I'll show you in a second, but like once the water really starts flowing, it just flows over a wooden board that you can pull over for additional draining. And the last time it rained heavily here last week, I did that before the rain started. And this time around, I didn't. And it's supposed to rain even more for like the next 4 or 5 days. And I just think if I can get in there and get the wood drain over, it's gonna do a lot to help keep this pond from overflowing its banks. We're good on the side of the house. Like obviously there's a lot of space between the house and there, and it would have to rise significantly to do any problems over there, but it could, you know, just cause more problems down here. So anyways, here we go. So I gotta fish my hand in there and slide this wooden plank over, which should allow me to essentially keep the water down by draining it. But it's moving pretty quickly, so I'm gonna see if I can do this safely. If I can't, then I'm not gonna do it, and I'm just gonna let nature take its course. Good. So that was actually fairly easy. I thought it would be a little bit more difficult with all the water pressure, but just slide that over, and then that's essentially opened a tube, which is just gonna help drain this and keep it from overflowing its banks. But it's just one more thing to be mindful of on the property here, especially when you know, the rainstorms come, because if you forget about it, and a really big storm comes and it rains a lot, like maybe this could, I don't know, do a flash flood or something. And so anything we can do to help facilitate the water flowing right through and off our property is a good move. I gotta fix that big time. So this is another temporary solution. Take these little pots, put it under the drip, fill it up, and then I can just transfer that over to these citrus trees and some of these bushes. We don't want that. That is water from that broken drain splashing up, hitting the wood, getting the wood wet, and over time that's going to cause rot. The wood's going to rot away, and you're going to have to replace those wooden panels. There's a break in the weather, although I hope it holds because it's starting to drizzle right now. But that gutter, the broken gutter that's been hanging and dripping all over the foundation of the sleep out, is annoying me, and I know that I need to get up there and take a look at it. So let's go for a closer inspection, shall we? See, this slides, and that's what the problem is. That connection right there is broken. See that? That little plastic connector. Looks like there was another one there which is also broken, which means that this is not supported, putting unnecessary strain down the line and causing these to break one after the other. What I'm gonna do is quick fix. I'm gonna clean all this gunk off, set this up so that they're sitting in properly. I'm gonna put some screws in there. I also have some wet cement, which is designed to fuse these two gutters, and I'm gonna try to apply that on the outside to make sure that it's sealed and connected. And hopefully that fixes this problem until later in the summer when we can really address these gutters. Okay, well, I've moved the camera into the garage, or garage, as they call it down here. Pretty sure it's a French word, so it should be le garage. Any way you pronounce it, that's our water pump from the rainwater tanks. Gets pumped into the house. To answer your question, we don't have a UV filter yet. I'm working on it. Right now we're just using a Brita for our drinking water. But I have joined the two pieces of gutter. I have added a couple of extra screws for support, and then I've joined the two pieces on the outside with wet cement, which should hold it for now. There's still some leaves in the intake for the down tubes, so I'm gonna go clean that out, and then we'll get back in here and do a little debrief. Oh yeah. Lots of nasty crap up in there, and that hole needs to be excavated.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now this is what happens. I wake up in the morning and he's already on the roof in the rain doing... Are you fixing a leak?
I fixed this broken gutter and I'm cleaning out the intake so that we have good drinking water.
Well, that's good. I just fed Wilson, and I'm still in my PJs underneath this coat. I'm pretty warm. I'm wearing my new thick wool gumboot socks in my gumboots. And let me just tell you, the warmth and the comfort that I'm feeling right now,
Worth it?
another level. This hat is protecting me from the sprinkles. I'm very ready for spring to actually come and for summer to get here, but I also feel like I don't want to rush it because I don't want to rush spring and summer. So I'll let it come when it wants to come, but it's technically here, I guess, spring, but it definitely still feels like winter. But I will say that it is warming up a little bit. Very slowly.
So while we've got the ladder out, we're gonna go over to the other side of the house, which also is having a leaky little section. A drippy guy. Nobody likes it when it drips. Luckily on the house itself, the foundation is cement and it's raised, so it's not as big of a problem. It's also not dripping right next to the foundation, like on the sleep out and with the garage. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. That guy, that little drip. Okay, so let me show you what's going on up here. God, there's a lot going on up here. So that is the drip. It's not going bad, very, very bad right now, but it is near constant. So, and that's because up in here there was essentially that goes pretty much all the way down the entirety of the gutter on this side of the house. And like I said, that's not good. We need to fix that because these drips, our rainwater collection system is not optimized. The water that we're collecting is probably being contaminated by all this leaf matter and rotting shit. We need to clean it out. So that's what we're doing. We're up here, we're doing it. There is something oddly satisfying about all of these little tasks, you know, working towards making the system that you inherited from previous owners a little bit less decrepit. Working things back into a good condition. And there's a lot of work here. This whole gutter pretty much needs to be cleared. So I'm gonna take the next hour or so probably to clean all this out to the best of my ability right now. Obviously I wanna come back during the summertime when it's drier, and we'll probably make some bigger changes to the guttering. I know a lot of you out there have shared in the comment section of the previous video some tips for gutters. Please get in there again and let me know what you use, what you've experienced, because once again, this is all new for us. What are you? You're like a little baby tarantula. No me gusta las arañas. Entonces, adiós, cabrón. Okay, well, it looks like I finished just in time because here comes the rain, and it's supposed to be fairly heavy for the next few days. But it looks like this little patch work here. Sorry, I just dried off Lanka's paws because they're all dirty, so it looks like the patchwork is working fairly well. Yeah, it's definitely holding, and the drip is way less. So hopefully that will now be utilizing and working for rainwater collection as well. I'm glad I got that in before this next couple of days of rain. That's gonna be good. It's gonna help us out, and it's gonna stop, maybe hopefully give this area the opportunity to kind of dry, because you know it's got stuff growing on it because it's been so wet, which is just not good. But yeah, this is going way slower. Hasn't fully fixed it yet, but this is much better than before. So this is the woodshed. This is all left here, and we're happy about it. It's nice to have some wood to burn. But you know, I've already split a lot of logs back here, and I've already loaded up and piled most of the good pieces, the easiest ones to split. And what's left are lots of very large logs and twisted, gnarled ones that are difficult to split with this axe. I'm in the market for a chainsaw, and definitely we have some of that fallen pine that blocked the road last week. We got a lot of that, loaded it in the car, and it's in the garage, but I haven't split that yet. Anyways, I wouldn't be able to burn that for like another year. So it's cold, it's wet, it's rainy, and I'm going to pile up as much of this firewood as we can. These are large logs, but when you get a good fire going in the fireplace and you have a lot of embers, you can get these bigger logs to burn. So we're gonna get to work back here, load these up, and get back inside, get the fireplace roaring, and then get back into that room and keep working on renovations. One of the other things that was left back here is this old ping pong board. Yeah, that's pretty much good for nothing, so that'll have to go to the dump later with this, what looks like an old mattress maybe. I think that's an old mattress. So yeah, lots of cleanup back here, but we'll make do with what we have. Good things have arrived. We've had our first delivery from the rural delivery service, which has asked for us to fill this out, which is essentially an application to allow the authority to leave, which is essentially saying we allow the rural post woman to come and drop off boxes and mail on our property if we're not here. So obviously we're gonna say yes to that, but something really good has come in the mail, which is gonna be a game changer. This is it. This will change the game, this giant box. This is called Starlink, okay? It's from SpaceX, Elon Musk's company, and it is super fast wireless internet delivered, I wanna say anywhere in the world. Right now, the Wi-Fi that we're on is from a local company and it works, but it's super slow. And for us, uploading 40-minute long 4K videos, both myself and my wife doesn't like uploading large files like that. I wanna say that the upload speed is something like 5 megabytes per second, which is pretty slow. I think right now we have 25 Mbps download speed and only 5 Mbps upload speeds. This Starlink is gonna give us 5x speed up or 10x speed up our upload speed, which is gonna be a game changer because to get the last video online, it took me 2.5 days uploading through the night to get that video up. So the question is, how am I gonna install this? And the answer is, I have no clue, but we'll figure it out. Man, just barely in there, huh?
Wow.
So look, it's got wheels. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Lamb cam. Okay, enjoy. See you in a little bit, buddy. So we just had our refrigerator delivered and it's been about, 2 weeks. We ordered it, 2 weeks ago, I believe. And it's interesting how these things happen, but both of the things that we ordered arrived on the same day. So our Starlink internet connection has arrived and so has our refrigerator. I don't know which one's more important. Let me know in the comment section. Could you live without fast internet or without a refrigerator? Well, I guess we had both. We had slow internet and we had a tiny refrigerator. Would you rather live with fast internet and a tiny refrigerator or a big new refrigerator and slow internet? Let me know. Look, Diego and Frida are just doing their thing. There they are. I love watching them run across the paddock. Where are they going? You may be wondering, is this a Jackson Pollock painting? A piece of abstract art? Avant-garde, pushing the limits of creative expression as we know it? The answer is no. This is our wall in the second bedroom. It looks like buckshot. It looks like somebody just took a gun, a shotgun, and blasted a hole in the wall. I have fixed hundreds of little holes, huge cracks, everything in between. And now we're at a point where we're about ready to start sanding. Yes, I'm learning. I should probably invest in a mouse sander. It's a little sanding machine, but they're like 150 bucks and this is $6. So for now, I'm gonna do it the old fashioned way. Speed, money, efficiency, time, less money, slightly less efficient. We're in the second bedroom now and there have been some serious cracks that I've had to deal with. And you know, we're getting to a point where it's like, do you just rip out the old drywall and insulate? And obviously that would be, if money and expertise and time weren't an issue. This has been a financial stretch for us, big time, to get the property and the house in the first place. So we have to be really selective with, you know, what we choose to do and what we choose to do later. I've been in here with a caulk gun. I've been in here with no more gaps and no more cracks and a whole bunch of plaster. We went through this, pretty much this whole bottle. Okay, so here's the next thing that we're working on. Looking at the ceiling. And as I look at the ceiling in here, it's all too apparent that there's some serious sag. I need to kind of fix the really visible sag in some of the areas. Is just finding the studs and adding some drywall screws through the board up into the rafters, the wooden rafters, just to kind of like reattach the sagging boards along that joint where the four pieces of ceiling come together. You can see there's quite a deep shadow, but that little black dot right there, that is a screw that I just added, and it's already made a big difference in bringing those towards a more uniform level. I'm pretty certain I'm not gonna be able to get it to be perfect, but just by bringing that one board, that's the main board with the most sag, and I really think it's gonna make a difference if we can get it a little bit more flush. More plaster, more putty, and we'll go from there. What is that? That to me looks like a large booger. That is a booger. That is snot. Wonka, better be careful. It's you versus 5 Rams. I don't know if you're gonna win, bud. Welcome back. We're in the same room, but prognos. It's like prognosis and progress together. The prognosis is that progress has been made, but there's still work to do. Always still work to do here. Gotta take advantage of the acoustics before anything else comes in here, you know? Gotta hit those high notes. And so it begins. Okay, wow. This room is all primed up. Wanted to get the whole thing painted and have that ready for this vlog, but it's Friday today, and usually I publish on Saturdays here in New Zealand. So I'll do my best to try to get this up and live as soon as possible. I'm really appreciating all the support, all the kind words, all the positive comments that you've been leaving here on YouTube, but also over on my Instagram account. I really appreciate all the support. It means the world to me. I wouldn't be able to do this if it weren't for all of you out there. So once again, a big thank you, and thank you for making it to the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, turn on notifications if you don't want to miss out on any new videos. And if you really liked the video, consider giving this a super like or a super thanks or an applause or whatever YouTube's calling it. It's essentially a direct donation to the channel for new content. So yeah, we're gonna go get some groceries. We're gonna let this paint dry, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.